Hello friends, welcome to my channel Creating Essence. I am Megan. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I am sharing with you today a really fun new development on our homestead. If you're new here, we are a large family living on 1 1/4 suburban acres in South Central Virginia. One day we hope for more land, but for now we are just planting and getting growing where we are. And that means right here in the suburbs of the state capital. And then there's our latest development, which I don't know if you'd call livestock, but they're living creatures. And it's not a worm farm though. Natalie, Hey It's a Good Life has me pretty interested in possibly doing a worm farm too. It's about 20,000 bees. Yep, we got honeybees. So in our local professional beekeepers association, set up a beginner beekeepers class this winter. I figured I'd give it a try. So I took the class and I was pretty overwhelmed. But when the time came, I ordered my nuke. The gentleman who was supplying the nukes, how he does it is he just takes a list, sort of a first come first serve of who wants a nuke and whether you want the deeps, which are the larger ones, or the mediums, which are the shorter ones. And then he just puts you on a list, and as his spring kind of pans out and his nukes become available, he calls the people that are next on the list. But he doesn't guarantee that you'll get a nuke. But if you don't and you're still interested in next year, you're still on the list and you're that much closer to the top, and he just keeps working down the list. So I put my name on it and then I waited. I bought all my supplies, but I didn't set anything up because there was no guarantee. I didn't want to get things set up in the yard, potential for moths or mice or any other predators to get established in there before I got bees, so I kept it all packed up in the house. The first week of May, everybody in the Beekeepers Club had been getting their packages and their nukes, and everybody locally had already installed everything, and I thought, you know, maybe it's just not a good year, maybe I'm not gonna get mine this year, and I was okay with that. And then someone posted the club page that a local beekeeper who is well known, does things very naturally, very well, and is really an excellent beekeeper, had some nukes for sale. And I thought, maybe I'll do that. I had wanted to go with the local gentleman because he was so skilled and he was such an amazing mentor. Within 24 hours, we were ready to head up to where he lives, about 45 minutes north of us, and get the nuke. And around 9 p.m. we heard from the local gentleman who said, hey, I had a medium super come available. Did you still want a nuke? I'm like, oh boy. So within about 72 hours, I went from, okay, we're not getting bees this year, that's all right, I'll take it as an opportunity to watch more, read more, learn more, and be more prepared for next year. I went from that mindset to 2 nukes and setting up a whole apiary. I was so intimidated, but the local gentleman was a fantastic mentor and helped me install the nuke from him, so I felt really prepared to get everything done for the other nuke. And we're going on 3 weeks now and the ladies are doing great. It's Friday, it's time for me to do a little hive inspection, so I figured I would bring you all along to see what everything looks like. But first I gotta suit up. One thing they don't tell you, or maybe they do and I missed that part, is that lighting the smoker is possibly the hardest part. I don't know why. It's just hard for me. I think I got it going. We'll see. It's probably one of the only times you'll see me wearing real shoes. I much prefer to be barefoot or sandals. Kind of looks like it's dying out already. It's dying. We'll see if this holds. All right. It's still going. It's a good sign. Grabbing my basket with my tools and some homemade syrup in case they need it. Let's go. So for our bee yard or apiary setup, we put down 2 layers of landscape fabric and some small border logs. And then we put these wood posts in the ground that we use for our garden over there that we really like. Got this 4-foot fence, started there, just stapled it around, also stapled it to the border logs down there. The border logs are on top of the edge of the landscape fabric, by the way. And as you can see, there is some breakthrough. We gotta deal with that. But we just went all the way around. And about the time that we got to the front, we ran out of this. So I just used some chicken wire, which probably is for the best because it doesn't in any way interfere with their flight pattern. So we did that. We made a very basic gate here, and it just closes with a big carabiner here. And the fence really is just to keep my kids out. And anyone who may inadvertently stumble too close, they've got a little warning, a little heads up to stay away. When the kids are playing with things like a frisbee or a ball or something, it's much less likely to accidentally go in here and have the kids need to go near it to get their things. Though the bees are not aggressive. It's so funny the difference we've noticed between these bees and wild honeybees. These ones are used to people. They don't really care. We can be here and around them, and as long as we're not in their flight path where they could just bump into us or opening up the hive, they don't even care. They're just like, oh, hey guys, excuse me, and keep trucking. So this is what we set up as our apiary. Smoker died again. All right, I think I got it lit. So let's go on in. This smaller one just happened to be a slightly smaller nuke, and they don't need their full second frame yet. This has a third simply because I'm using the top frames as feeder. These ladies I've been calling the Betty Davis hive because of the relation to the name of the gentleman I got them from. This table is just a basic table that we made with a 2x4 frame, plywood top, and there are stakes attached to each leg that allowed it to be staked into the ground about 12 inches. This is a feeder, a jar feeder that I've had in there. It is empty now. I'm gonna give the girls more food because they say you don't want your bees to be hungry. If they don't eat it, they don't eat it. That's great. If they do, also good. This is just a solution I made myself that is 2 parts sugar, 1 part water, and I just heated it until the sugar was completely dissolved. It stays shelf stable, or you can refrigerate it if you like. I have it covered with an extra layer of saran wrap just to make sure that it stays sealed underneath this cap and no ants or anything get in. Smoker's still going. That's a plus. The feeder has holes poked into the top of it so that when you tip it over, it initially drips out, but then it stops. And nothing will drip out until they touch the little bubbles of sugar water that are kind of at the openings because the surface tension is holding it tight. I'm not gonna put this in yet because I wanted to take a look and see what the girls are up to. To feed in here There's some screen duct taped over the opening of the inner cover, and I just put the jar on top of here for them to come up and feed through in this hive. You'll see I've done it a little differently in my other, kind of trying two different methods here. All right, see the girls. Hello, girls. Set this against the fence over here. They look like they're doing well and happy. Hi, friend. Most of what I'm doing today is just checking to see how they're filling out these frames in here, the new ones. It was a 5-frame nuke, so they have 5 of their existing frames and 5 new frames from me, and I want to see how they're filling things out to see if they need another super added yet. They're doing so well. This is just a plain base. They're drawing out the comb really well. I'm wondering if the queen is in there with the way they're bunched up like that. No activity on that side yet, which is good. Just means they've still got plenty of room to grow. I really try not to smoke them unless truly necessary, which is typically just when I'm putting things back together and I don't want anyone getting smushed. Hi, girls. Wow, look at that. This was a brand new frame when they came to me. It had never been used, nothing on it. Look at all that activity in there. I don't know if you can see the larvae down in there. Those are growing baby bees. That's a good sign that they're healthy and reproducing well. Drawing out more comb over there. Very nice work. Slide everything back in slowly and carefully. Just make sure nobody's gonna get pinched. Now this next frame is one of the frames that the nuke came with, so it's gonna be one of the most mature and have the most going on it. Oh, they've got some burr comb happening there. Look, see all that white larva down in there. All this capped brood. That is a really good sign. Honey around the edges to feed them. These are all good things. And very slowly move it to this side. See the little bees poking their heads down in there. They're literally feeding the larvae. They're feeding the babies. I think that's probably the cutest thing. Slide that back in gently. And I'm not really going to disturb the center. This is usually where the queen is. I can see all that healthy larva, so I know that they are healthy and producing well in there. Go back in, girls. Come on. There we go. See, there's nothing growing in that burr comb. It's just pretty little comb. But I am going to check these other new frames that I put in here to see if they've grown anything. Nope, no activity yet. Which means they have lots of space to grow. This one's sticking with a little propolis, which tells me they might be getting to it, or it might just be in the hive in general. Nope. Nope, no activity there. All right, and I can see, let me see if I can pick you up and show you. See the empty stuff in there, but on this side of this new one, they have been doing some work. You can see some comb built out and lots of bee activity, so I'm just going to leave it. I can see they're using it, and that's good. That's all I need to know. We don't need any more supers right now. We just want to line things back up so things are nice and even. We do it gently and slowly so little bees have time to move out of the way. See, all these girls are still on that inner cover there feeding. Now I'm just going to use a little smoke to get these girls to go down inside so I don't accidentally smush them. There we go. Cleans it off there, just to prevent any loss of bee life. Gonna put this empty super back on. Make sure it's nice and even on the corners. Now I'm gonna tip this back up over here to make sure that I'm not just pouring sugar syrup into here. Put it right back over, center that screen, and put my telescoping lid on. Can you see my profuse sweating through the mesh? It is like pouring down my face. But I'd say that Betty Davis and her hive are doing very, very well. There's so much capped brood, growing brood, everything looks really healthy, and they still have plenty of room to grow. Now, Salt and Pepper, which I named because they came from Salt and Pepper Farm, was a much bigger nuke to start with. Both nukes were perfectly adequate size, but Salt and Pepper nuke was much bigger. So, this is Salt and Pepper and her girls. Hey, hey, smoker's still going. Hey girls. Oh, they need some more food too. In this one, I've been doing a bag feeder, which you use the same syrup and you put it in this bag and lay it on top of the frames and just poke or slit holes in there, and they come up to the top of the bag and sip the syrup when they need something to eat. Looks like I might need to make a fresh batch of syrup later today. Except in winter, you don't typically need to feed bees because they can do it themselves. But because I got mine later in the spring, almost summer, they are going to need to be fed. There we go. Zip it back up. There it is. You can see the little bits of nectar that come out of the holes and the slits in the top where the ladies come to feed. The second super on already because at my first inspection 5 days after I had gotten these ladies, they had already filled every frame of their original super. It was also a 5-frame nuke, but I'm looking down inside of these. Let me get my microphone. I'm looking down inside of these frames and I don't really see any activity. I don't see them coming upward. I see them coming upward to feed, but not to grow. So I can see they have plenty of space and I know that they are a healthy and active hive. Might be climbed on my finger. That's what I mean about super chill. They just don't even care. It's just like, hey. Yeah. So I'm not going to dig into this one because I can tell they have plenty of room. I know that they're healthy. I now know that they have plenty of food. So I'm just going to let them be. I like to do my bee inspections when he is home because, like I mentioned, I'm allergic and I like to be able to have a quick contact to say, hey honey, call 911 on the off chance that I need it. It's not typically that serious, but it's good to be safe. Look at this. Look at this smoker. Took me like 4 tries to get it going and now it won't stop now that I'm all done.
They're so active.
I know.
You just put a new box on?
Nope, I didn't have to do anything for them. Get in there, buddy. There we go. We do have this bowl set up for them for water. We found that they were going all the way over to the porch to Solomon's water table. It was adorable to watch. He couldn't really use his water table anymore. So we gave them their own water table with a rock, or their own water bowl with a rock to stand on so that they can dip their proboscis into the water and drink without worrying about falling in. And now everything's good to go. We do have ratchet straps set up underneath each hive that we can strap the hive to the table if we have storms coming, or we most definitely will do that in the winter time when we won't be opening it. But for now, we just watch the weather carefully and leave them be with just a brick on top. Has anyone ever told you how hot a bee suit is? Hoy. And that is all about our bees. We have 2 lovely hives. They're doing wonderfully. We've had no problem being in such close proximity to where the kids play and where we barbecue. They don't mind us, we don't mind them, and we all live in peace. I don't know if you can see the little bees flying up from the top, but they're here to do one thing, and that's to take care of their queen. And we don't interfere with that at all in our daily life of playing and living and gardening and barbecuing and running and screaming and having water fights. We're suburban beekeepers now, y'all. I am dripping with sweat. So I am going to get going and go finish my iced coffee that I poured myself before I started this. But we are really excited about this new adventure. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. I am not by any means a professional. I am a brand new novice beekeeper. I have these 2 wonderful hives of bees that are teaching me so much. But I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have for me. And I'm also happy to send you to the professionals who can answer them better. If you like this video, my friends, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel to hang out for more videos like this. Bye-bye.